The only proof that you need is your soul's desire. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In case you're new here, my name is Kim. This is Core Union. I always check my microphone to make sure it's on. I wanted to share an awesome success story from one of my clients. She's been on the package, and it happened to be after our second session, that 2 days after our second session, after she had been affirming for being a success story, and we were working on things with her specific person, but also related to selling one of her properties that has been on the market for over a year with no action. She now has an amazing, amazing manifestation and a success and awesome movement with her specific person as well. So this will be a short and sweet video. Before I do get into this, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel if you love my content. If you want me to be your coach, email me a short description to kim@coreunion.com. I will reply back to you with my next available session. After you've booked on my website, coreunion.com, you can do a 30-minute or a package of 30-minute sessions. My client came to me obviously wanting to sell her property and be together in a relationship with her specific person. She told me a couple days ago when we had our session that when we met, I have sold properties using my favorite, it's like one of my favorite affirmations that's based off of what used to be one of my favorite reality TV shows, Million Dollar Listing Los Angeles. And I don't remember who said it, but it was something like $1 million quick close, $1 million quick close. So I used that starting, I don't know how many years ago, to sell a property that the brokers in the area were telling me that I couldn't get the amount of money. It was going to be really hard, blah, 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 blah. So I just got really clear. I was like, I'm going to do this myself. I'm going to get a cash offer, quick close. I'm going to get the perfect buyers for me, blah, 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 blah. So I basically now share that with my clients. So you guys can literally do that. But I also put my clients, I do believe in structure. I personally need structure in order for me to affirm the things that I, want to manifest in my reality deliberately. So I do put my clients on a schedule and on structure. Some people don't need structure at all. Some people, but it just so happens that my clients who are basically resonating with me do very well once they incorporate the structure. So I put her on the same schedule and basically trained her in the methods that I use to do the inner work. So as far as when it came to selling the property, that's what we went over, that she was going to start affirming. She's going to drop the old story of the house just sitting there on the market, being stale, nobody's interested in it. And she's going to now focus on the end. There was a cash offer. It was a quick close. They were the perfect buyers and all of these other things. So along the way, she has also wanted, so she has this property that we're talking about. Her ex-husband still was living in the property. And she's actually living currently in a home that she also manifested a few years back. And that property hadn't even existed, but she was literally feeling it, visualizing it. And then she ended up manifesting the exact house in the exact area that she was seeing where she wanted to live. There was a bridge of incidents. It wasn't that great of a bridge, but nevertheless, she manifested being in the house that she wanted. Now, with her ex-husband, when the house sells, she wanted to see that he lived very close. So she was literally visualizing him being in a very specific home where she kept just imagining her children riding on their bikes, going back and forth between visiting her and him. So that's key. Now, 2 days after our last session, or not the second session that we had, she printed out a picture of the listing. And she put the price that she wanted to get for it very clear. And she basically just put, and it may be slightly different words, but it was something along the lines of what I said: cash offer, quick close, easy, something easy, and perfect buyers. 2 days later, so that was on a Tuesday, on a Thursday, just after doing that, on a Thursday, she got a notice from the real estate agent. He told her he had two interested buyers that really loved the property. And he asked, could they come and see it on Thursday, 2 days later? And she had made a decision with this, that she shifted in her end. And in shifting in her end, one of the things I asked her, what did you do exactly to get this to manifest from your perspective, after we met and stuff? And she said, I dropped the anxiousness. I dropped the desperation of it. That is key, because when he said, now it doesn't mean that you don't prioritize things that you're manifesting, but with her in the past, she would have rushed home. She would have done anything and everything. She would have literally sacrificed her own time. There would have been no boundaries. She would have done whatever she had to do to basically just out of desperation to make sure oh, I got to make sure that I let them in the house because, I'm desperate to sell this. But this time she said, no, absolutely not. I'm busy on Thursday. They can come on Sunday. So he said, absolutely, of course. He checked in and they were absolutely fine waiting until Sunday. So Sunday came, and I'm just going to basically focus on the parts that I remember of the ones that are actually buying the house, because again, there were two, but I don't remember the significance of the second one. And I guess there is none. So the entire family showed up. This is how much they loved the house. I think I may have even mentioned something to her, because I did say this with another client and with myself, that something about your house literally glows. Your house among any other house, they know this is the house for us. She may or may not have incorporated that, but that's what I would also recommend. The whole family showed up. We're talking generations, and the daughter literally came in and absolutely claimed the bedroom. She said, this is my bedroom. And, and she was super excited and enthused about it. So they were there for quite a while. Long story short, the real estate agent ended up letting her know they have a cash offer. It will be very quick. And they made the offer, and they wanted her to leave the house by the end of June, which only gave her at this point a little bit over a month for her husband to get out. And even though they're not together, she's extremely considerate of him, because it's all, they're friendly with each other. So she said, no, absolutely not. We will, with respect of time and appreciating the urgency of them wanting to move in, we won't be out that quickly, but we'll be easy to work with, in other words. But no, that's not okay. We won't agree to that. So he said something like, are you sure? Because these are the perfect buyers. And she said, I'm absolutely sure. Oh, there's the one part that I missed that's kind of important. The first offer that they made was $5,000 less than what she was selling the home for. Now, while I personally probably would have, which is not a big deal, I probably would have said sure, yeah, whatever, because to me, the 5,000 in a house transaction is just yeah, whatever, just be happy, just take the house, be happy. I'm going to move on. But for her, which was perfect for her, she said, absolutely not. I'm not settling for less. I want the full price. And the broker stepped in with his fears, which was just obvious. Everybody's always reflecting back to us, and said, are you sure about this? Because we could lose them. They are exactly what you've wanted. They're the perfect buyers, which is what her affirmation was, their cash offer. And she said, no, I'm sure. So she stood her ground, and she was not going to settle, because she wasn't anxious. She wasn't desperate for it. She knew the end existed, that she got the perfect buyers. She sold it for exactly what she wanted, and she trusted in that, dropped all the need for it because she trusted in her end. Sure enough, he came right back and he said, well, they'll take they agree to full price. So she sold the house. And at the end of the day now, her ex-husband ended up also getting the exact property that she imagined him getting. So she not only manifested just 2 days after our session, getting cash offer, quick close, perfect buyers, but she also manifested her husband ended up getting the exact property that she saw him getting in her imagination. And she is going to be netting $100,000 cash for herself. So amazing and incredible movement. I'm so over the top happy for you, and I'm celebrating with you. Now, with her specific person, she basically the other day, she told me during the session that she's been also dropping the desperation and the anxious energy and living from the end. Like, in other words, she's knowing she's knowing her value and knowing her worth and knowing that he knows her value and worth too. So out of nowhere, he texted her, "Good morning." He texted her, like, the communication is now increasing, and he's showing his value and his appreciation for her. She had a story from childhood trauma, and I'm not going to give too much personal information, but she had a story of childhood trauma of basically that she would always question when if somebody had feelings for her, or somebody gave her a compliment or some sort of praise, she'd always think, what do you want from me? Because, people always want something from me. There always has to be something attached to this. So, what we went over is like, no, you're good enough exactly how you are. And people simply love you because they love you, because of who you are. You don't have to do or say or prove anything to be loved. You don't have to give anything to get love. And so we focused a lot on that. So anyway, he texted her, "Good morning." And he texted her something like, "I hope you haven't forgotten about me." And she had, the night before, had said something like, "I haven't seen him in a while. I would really love to see him." So then that next morning he says, "Good morning. I hope you haven't forgotten about me." And then he says, "We have to make a plan soon because I would love to see you." So anyway, that was wonderful movement. And now, since our session yesterday or the day before, I get blurry with time, where she told me of the success of manifesting, selling her home, and telling me about that movement with her specific person, she has now emailed me this morning saying that he's all excited. They're texting a lot back and forth, communication is increasing a lot because she's in her power. She's in that energy. She's living from the end of knowing her value, knowing her worth, knowing she doesn't have to prove her love, knowing that love is free, love is unconditional. She doesn't have to prove herself or do anything to be good enough to be loved. So the love that he's showing her, it's not that he's looking to get anything from her. So that's where her energy is at. And she's seeing the reflection of it. And now he actually wants to buy a property together with her so they can rent it out together. And he's also going through something, and he's asking her, he's looking for some sort of support from her because he cares about her and he trusts her. And so anyway, I just wanted to share this video. I know that it helped many of you guys. You have to remember that when you have a desire for something, from my perspective, our desires, the things that we want in our soul, and I've said this about a million times on all of my videos, but I have to keep like screaming it from the rooftops. Your desire is already existing. Your desire is already done. So you don't have to create it. You don't have to do anything to make it happen, except drop, release, and let go of all your fears, worries, and doubts that are in opposition of it. And that's where all of the inner work is. And that's where that's where a lot of you guys are finding the challenge. Totally normal and natural, but just keep persisting and don't give up, because you don't need proof in your 3D reality of your desire happening. Your desire is already the proof that it happened already. So we always use the term creator because that is just easy to use. It's an easy way to express with our language, but you are selecting over and over and over again the version of you, the version of your life, the version of your bank account, the version of your relationships with everyone in your reality, the version of your specific person, the version of your health. You are manifesting you, and your entire life is a three-dimensional. You are submersed basically in a living, breathing, your conscious and subconscious mind. So start really believing and realizing that your life itself, right now in this moment, is your consciousness. Your life is your conscious and your subconscious mind. And it's just being played out all around you. You are literally submersed in it. So if there are areas that you don't like, do the inner work, but remain in trust, in faith, because the only reason why you are keeping the things away from you that you deserve, that's in your soul, is just your ego. Okay, so make a choice of who you are, mindset. Make a choice of who you are the moment that you wake up. Decide who you are conscious of being. Make that decision. Trust in it. Get clear. I can help you with the coaching if you need it. Just email me at kim@coreunion.com. And then allow it, accept this version of you, accept and trust that you can be loved, that you can be cherished, that you can be adored, that you are safe to have everything that you want, that you deserve everything that you have, everything that you want. You would not feel, so the only proof that I always try to get to you, the only proof that you need is what's in your heart, is your soul's desire. And live your life and be happy. Like my client in this story, drop your anxiousness about it. Drop the desperation about it. Stop needing proof outside of you, because the outside of you is think about it this way. The outside of it is what you were previously believing way back from when you were a kid. It is your programming being displayed out for you. And you're constantly having the choice to continue to believe in this or not. The only proof that you need is your soul's desire. It is not up to you to make the changes in the 3D. That's not your job. Your one and only job. A lot of you guys, especially with specific person, drop the anxiousness, drop the desperation, drop the need to control, drop the need for proof, and trust that your person loves you as much as you love them in your end. Get clear on your end and know it into being, okay? You need to just continue to ruminate on the story that you want. Dwell in feeling what you would feel like in the relationship. And I know that there's a big debate on feeling versus thoughts. Please just make this simple, guys. Drop all of the debates and the confusion. Just drop it and do it. You feel what it feels like to not have it. You can feel what it feels like to have it. Don't get so caught up with things. This is part of the problem. Get out of the rabbit hole. Get out of the questioning and get into faith and trust. I can teach you how to do this if you would like. I love you. Please do comment down below that you trust in your soul's desire and you know that it's done and you are in complete faith and you are dropping all of the 3D circumstances. I love you so much. Reach out to me if you need me. Bye.
Nothing can come between us.